All right, back with first trades, and as we said, it will probably be a dull start to trade, a flattish start to trade, let me put it that way, about 20-25 odd points in the red. But let's get into fundamental voice on the show as well. Ajay Bodke from Prabhudas Lilladher Johnson right now to speak about his sense of the markets and what some of the specific pockets could do. Ajay, really good having you. Thanks so much for joining in. Just about 3 minutes away from the pre-open session, Ajay, a quick peek into what you believe is in store in the near term. Do you think the earnings will negatively surprise this season, or will Infosys show the way for the pack at large?
I think the story of the quarterly earnings will be a story of contrasting halves. We'll have a few set of sectors and companies within them that will continue to perform better than the analyst expectations, and then there will be certain sectors where there will be a tad disappointment because the expectations have run ahead slightly of the reality. I think Infosys and some of the IT companies, we believe, clearly would fall in the pack that would continue to outperform the analyst expectations. We'll also have sectors like private sector banks and some of the NBFCs, which would outperform the expectations. Pharmaceuticals selectively would outperform the expectations. However, I think in the old economy sectors linked to the revival in investment cycle, the commentary that could come in based on our interaction with the managements clearly indicates that we are a good 1 to 2 quarters away from a revival in investment cycle. There has been a significant increase in the inquiry levels. However, the conversion of those inquiries into actual orders, and hence that reflecting in the aggregate demand, we believe will take a quarter or two. And hence engineering, capital goods and construction companies, the performance would not be as spectacular as some sections of the market believe them to be. However, I think this, in our view, if one is constructing a long-term portfolio, should be taken as an opportunity to build in a portfolio with a medium-term 1 to 3 year perspective and buy into stronger names in these sectors. Autos and other cyclicals, in our view, also would continue to do very well. I think overall it would be an earnings season which more or less would, on balance, be as per the expectations of the market.
Ajay, what's the sense that you're getting about macro data lined up today? We've got the IIP as well as the CPI numbers as well. Do you think they are going to be extremely important and dictate the market mood from here? Because that is somewhat going to give us an indication of how soon could we see a rate cut, if at all.
Yeah, I think we are expecting the IIP numbers to be at around 2.5 to 2.75%, within that range. The CPI would be a tad higher this month vis-a-vis the last month, and we could look at between 5.5% to 5.25% on the CPI. We internally believe that a rate cut by the RBI would happen sometime in March. RBI would like to wait it out and see how the base effect in the month of the current month and the next month plays out on CPI. It's expected to spike up because of the adverse base last year. As well as I think they would also like to see the quality of fiscal consolidation that the government is able to deliver, not just the quantity of 4.1%, but how the government is able to achieve it. And also they would like to see the medium-term fiscal consolidation plan, because there is a clear view emerging certain sections of government that the highly leveraged status of the private sector entrepreneurs, as well as the fact that the banks are not in a position because of being saddled with 12% of NPAs and restructured assets to revive the investment cycle. The government might in the medium term have to relax the fiscal deficit target by say 0.5% or so, and allocate that money specifically for reviving investment cycle and thus crowd in investments by being at the forefront. And that wouldn't be taken too negatively, I believe, by the rating agencies if the government specifies the end use of that 0.5% of GDP in case they do decide to relax the fiscal deficit target for next financial year. To answer your question, yes, these data points will be important, but let's not forget the global situation, and there's a lot of volatility that is expected to hit all the markets, and India being no exception. from what's going to happen specifically in Europe. I think two important events on 25th, the verdict by the Greek electorate, and in case Syriza were to come to power, whether they do renege on the threatened the threat that they have issued about reneging on the negotiated bailout.
Right, Ajay, please excuse me, Ajay. I just have to come in right now because the pre-open rates are kicking in. But I'll come back to this thought of yours in just a moment from now. But here are the pre-open rates for the session on the index, and we've opened, well, marginally higher at that. But I think these rates will correct themselves because the Nifty will probably open flat. But you never know. There's a habit of surprising compared to what the SGX Nifty has been showing in the past few days. What's moving and what's not? There are some 10% upticks on ICICI, L&T and Tata Motors. That won't happen. Pull up a Cairn India and a Hindustan Zinc and a Sesa Sterlite. I want to see the more realistic rates and see what's happening there. Cairn is flat. Hindustan Zinc should come up, as should Sesa Sterlite. It's not a bad move for Sesa Sterlite, I must say, but Hindustan Zinc and Cairn may well open actually at 2.5% downtick. But Hindustan Zinc and Cairn are the ones which probably have a bit of a downtick today's session. So those are the index stocks which are in news. Pull up Adani Enterprises. Just for the records, they're setting up a large solar unit as well. Don't know what's happened there. By the way, United Spirits will be in news. And I was just looking at the CNX 500. It's opened massively higher. Again, this rate will correct, but it's in news. They'll something to do with Diageo manufacturing. And I think that's one very interesting stock for the session today. It's not an FNO stock, mind you. It's no. So keep that in mind if you're looking at United Spirits. It's not in FNO anymore. But that could be an interesting mover in the session today. That aside, no, not too much. There are a whole host of unnatural rates. Even the Nifty is showing a 90-point uptick. This will correct itself. So we'll focus on the index in a bit later. But the rupee too has made a very interesting start to trade today. 62.12. That's exemplary strength by the currency in the last 5 or 6 sessions. More so in today's trade too.
Yes, and I think we can go across to Manisha as well and get in some more perspective on the currency. Manisha?
Thank you for that, Aisha. It has been amazing gains that the rupee has been seeing in last 1 month. We have come back all the way from 63.89 to around 62 kind of levels on your screens. It's trading at a 1-month highs. You saw 1.5% of gain for the rupee in the previous week, and we have started on a very positive note, nearly 0.3% higher on your screens right now for the currency. Well, the Qs have been stronger as well. You have the Indian equity markets which have perked up. The FI flows into the debt market have been picking up yet again. And if it's not just about the domestic markets, the international Qs have been stronger as well. The dollar index is off its 9-year highs. You have seen strength come back for euro, high-yielding currencies. Most of the Asian currencies are trading in the positive as well. And having said that, ECB may start a full-fledged QE is something that has taken most of these currencies higher. Going forward, it really is going to be about the inflation and the IIP numbers today in the evening. Markets would take direction from that. But having said that, 62 to 62.5 is the range for this week is what the bankers are now working with.
Okay, fairly interesting. Manisha, thanks a lot for that. So that's, of course, the currency in its exemplary strength, as I said, 62.11. I don't think too many people thought of this last week when the currency was at 63.48 or 63.50. That's been remarkable strength by the rupee versus the dollar. And mind you, it's not that the dollar is weakened against all the other currencies. It's probably the rupee which is standing out compared to the others. And we'll scratch Ajay Bodke's head on this in a bit as well. But first get in Ajay to speak about Ajay Sharma to speak about the top 3 stocks to watch out for this morning. Ajay, very impressed with what your dealing room sources spoke about Infosys on Thursday. A great call. But what is it that they're talking about? The 3 ideas that they're talking about this morning.
Good morning, Neeraj. Neeraj, yeah, that was a contra call which worked beautifully for that group of dealers. Now the same guys are talking about Petronet LNG on a short side. We've already seen how Petronet LNG over the last 3 months have been a marked performer with gas stocks has been moving higher. But they believe that, the stock may have, overshot its welcome, and now the stock may witness some selling. In fact, Friday session onwards, there was some selling which has started coming in, and the stock ended at day's low. So they believe a good 25-30 rupee erosion from the stock over the next 1 month and are recommending shorts. Apart from that, the news of perhaps Cairn being merged with Hindustan Zinc has also not gone down pretty well as far as dealers and analysts goes who track the space. They believe that the massive cash on books of Cairn is at risk in a way that pure oil-related business, it may not be used for, and hence they believe that Cairn may come under pressure on this one. However, it has already, fallen a whole lot, so the downside may be cushioned. And the last one is Marico. They believe that Marico will start witnessing good amount of buying ahead of numbers, Not only margin expansion is expected this time round, but growth volumes are also expected to be pretty strong. So this is one stock which they believe that may do a HUL in the near term, and it has not really moved a whole lot compared to HUL, but from the same space, the dealers are betting on consumer names, and Marico is figuring in that list.
Yes, consumer seems to be the hottest pocket of late. Ajay, many thanks for that. Petronet LNG, Cairn India, Marico, 3 stocks to look out for. And Ajay, I want to get your opinion in on some of these consumer-driven names. The likes of Unilever, which we all saw, ran up a fair bit all of last week. And today Ajay is saying that, you know, Marico could be the other one in the fray. Also, some of the niche consumption plays like a Marico Kaya as well have been spurting up very, very smartly. What is on your own sense about this sector and the stocks that you may like?
I think we are constructive on the consumer sectors, and the 3 stocks our analyst is strongly recommending investors with a medium-term perspective in the sector are Britannia, and we've been positive on Britannia now for the last year and a half, and we still feel that there is tremendous value from a medium-term perspective because most of the raw materials, be it wheat, sugar, palm oil, are significantly down on a YOY basis, and these constitute a significant chunk of the total raw materials for the company. Because the company's value-added product launches, which are high margin in nature, continues unabated, and one can continue to see margin expansion in Britannia. So we are expecting Britannia's revenues to grow at between 17% CAGR over the next 2 years, and an earnings growth of between 28 to 30% CAGR over the next 2 years. The other company in FMCG we are positive on is Colgate Palmolive, and there I think we are expecting a revenue growth of 16.5% CAGR over this year and next year, and a strong 18.5% earnings growth next year, followed by 24% growth in earnings in 2016. ITC is a stock that has underperformed massively as compared to the other players because of various concerns. But we believe that the stock has become so inexpensive that one can start accumulating the stock, although there is a concern about the hike in excise duties that the budget might announce. But I think the market more or less has discounted a hike in excise duties, and ITC, we believe in the medium term, can form part of the core portfolio.
Ajay, what are you doing with banking? The inflation print later today might show a bit of an uptake that might make a few banking bulls a bit nervous about the rate cut cycle as well. But that notwithstanding, it's probably a given that rates will come down sooner rather than later. How do you play banking, both on the earnings front as well as on the treasury gains front because of the rate cut cycle?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned in reply to your previous question, we are expecting the rate cut to start sometime in March. And once the rate cut cycle begins, I think the RBI, in our opinion, should start cutting rates over a 12-month period from next March. One can see at least a 75 basis points or a 100 basis point cut in rates. We can play this 2 ways. One obviously is the private sector side. Now here what we are advocating is one can have in a portfolio a stock like HDFC Bank, which has massively underperformed because of the no headroom available for FIs purchases from last February onwards. But the stock has become so inexpensive. It continues to grow at 20-25% every quarter. It's has highest names, highest return ratios, and a point would come where people will realize that the premium that the stock enjoys to the other private sector banks has shrunk dramatically, and after rolling over the earnings, it's looking very cheap. And hence, I think it is time for long-term investors to start building positions in HDFC Bank. At the same time, a cut in interest rates makes us believe that the banks which are corporate focused, like ICICI Bank, will be a big beneficiaries as the interest rates start coming off and the corporate sector revival happens, investment cycle picks up. Hence, one can have on the private sector side allocations to a retail focused bank like HDFC and a corporate focused bank like ICICI. Coming to PSUs, which will be the biggest beneficiaries of a drop in rates because of the excess SLR that some of these names hold, as well as the fact that they are the worst off in terms of the NPA plus restructured assets problems at around 12%, the total PSU pack, 4% NPAs, 8% restructured assets. I think they will be the biggest beneficiaries of the gain investment book. And also, as the NPA cycle turns, Now there one can construct a portfolio where the most strongest names like SBI and BOB, which are today trading at say 1 times or slightly less than 1 times adjusted book, can have highest allocation, followed by the not so strong names like BOI or Union Bank, where the risk is slightly higher than SBI or BOB, having some allocation, and if one wants and if one is not so risk averse and wants to take a bet which is slightly risky but which also could turn out to be far more in terms of the returns offered, one can then start looking at the other names like PNB or some of the other smaller banks. So one can construct a portfolio where one can have higher allocation to SBI or one of the SBI or BOB, slightly lower for Union Bank or BOI, and slightly lower for a bank like a PNB or some of the other smaller banks.
Okay, Ajay, good chatting with you. Thanks so much for taking time out and speaking with us today. Just want to quickly recap some of the stocks which are going to be in focus today. And Adani Enterprises, we've talked about this one, looking to invest a $4 billion sizable chunk in solar PV plant in Gujarat. Watch out for this one. Coal India, where the government may divest 10% stake in the current fiscal. Watch out for this one too. And of course, the Anil Agarwal Group companies, considering he's mulling merging KN with Hindustan Zinc into Sesa Sterlite. Watch out, considering they're cash rich. You may see some negative pressure actually built in for these two. And of course, amongst the smaller ones, take a look at PVR.